Hey guys, Coach Kelly here for another Coach Tip of the Day. Today we're going to talk about the topic of complaining. Complaining. We've all done it, we've all heard it, we all hate it. Except for, why do we still do it sometimes? In fact, some of us have a real problem with complaining, and it might be grumbling in our hearts, just internally, but a lot of times it's complaining out loud verbally to other people or just to the air or whatever. In either case, it's very damaging, and it's very negative, and it just impairs our development and our progress as a person. One of the things that I was thinking about with this, and I thought, well, gosh, there's so many things that you could talk about. Well, I have narrowed it down to three main things that I think that complaining brings about or happens or makes happen in our life or brings to light. The first thing is that complaining is paralyzing. Complaining is paralyzing. If you're a complainer, and what happens is so much of what you're seeing and perceiving in the world and what you're getting out of things is negative and is unhelpful, unholy, unrealistic, just not a good thing. And so what happens is we get paralyzed into thinking that we're so focused on focused on the things that we're unhappy about, that we're grumbling about, that we don't like, that we get paralyzed to take the next step. In fact, I don't even know, sometimes we know that we're doing that, and we just go over and over and over things in our mind and mull it and talk about it and complain about it. And it's like, how do you have creative energy? How do you have the ability to move forward with things when you're constantly stuck in a rut complaining about what's happened already? And that's not to say that you need to be unrealistic and have this fake sense of, happiness that's fake and it's not real. But, move through it. And so that then you can get to a solution and you can get to the next steps for your life. Okay. So don't let complaining paralyze you. Another thing is that it's and I mentioned this a little bit before, is unrealistic. It gives us an unrealistic, warped view of the world, of what we deserve, of ourselves, of other people. Sometimes when we complain, it's because we think that we deserve something that we're not getting. And it might be something that other people have. So, maybe that's the case, maybe it's not, but it's not helpful, is it? Because really you have a lot of good things in your life, even if you haven't taken stock of that lately. You do. And when you start to grumble and complain about things, then you really have an unrealistic view of things, because all you're doing is focusing on the few things that might be going wrong, the few things that you don't have, the things that somebody else has that you want to have, or the reasons that you can't do something, or, just the drawbacks or the hardships of why it's going to be hard for you to do it. Okay, so that's warped, because most of us have many resources, really a lot of help, friends, people around us, information, training, education, skills, whatever it is, to take steps and to make something happen that's different than what our current situation is that we're so unhappy about. Okay, so complaining just gives you a completely warped sense of reality and of what's going on and of other people and of ourselves. I think oftentimes what happens is we esteem others as worse than they are, and in our complaining we lift ourselves up beyond what we should be, because that's what we're doing. We're putting ourselves first. Okay, so that's the second thing. The last thing is that complaining is a joy killer. It steals the joy that you have in your life. Have you ever been around a person who nonstop complains about things? Anything could be negative. It's just, there's a negative thing that walks in with them when they come through the door, and there's a negative thing that leaves with them, because every single thing is something to whine and complain about. And it's so draining, isn't it? Nobody wants to be around those joyless people, because it just drains your energy, and it's hard to bolster yourself up, emotionally, intellectually, spiritually, or whatever you need to do to get to, sort of defend yourself against all this gunk and all this negative whining and complaining, and, a lot of times gossip. Gossip will attend the complaining spirit in people, because what do they have to do? They're not going to be positive about their life. They just want to sit and bitch and complain about things, and so that's what they do, and therefore, a lot of times it has to do with other people, and they have to bring those people down to feel better about themselves. It's just a totally bad, wrong, negative thing altogether. Okay, so let's think today about things that are good in our lives, things that we would like to improve, and we're not going to be fake. We're not going to be saccharine, sweet, you know, people who pretend that everything's awesome and it's not. No, we're going to take stock of things. We're going to say thank you, be grateful for the things that we have, and then we're going to go take an honest look at things that could be better about ourselves, and we're going to get to work on that. And hey, maybe some relationships in your life have to go. I don't know, but usually when we start with ourselves and work out forward into the world, that's really where we need to start, and that's usually what will make a big difference in our lives. All right, guys, you have an awesome day. I hope this has helped. Bye-bye.